All right, thanks for joining us. I have on the phone Tyron Woodley, who will be facing Johny Hendricks at UFC 192, October 3rd. Now, Tyron, first thing I want to ask you, this is happening in Texas, and how can you make fighting Johny Hendricks in Texas an advantage for you and a disadvantage for him?
I think he's going to get a lot of requests from family members and friends for tickets and pressure fighting at, close to home. I really don't want to fight in St. Louis where I'm from, because I just know my family and friends and family members I didn't even know I was going to bust out of the woodworks. So I rather, to be honest, I like fighting in Vegas. I like fighting in, places where it's not that distraction. Mm-hmm. So I think he's a veteran. I think he's won in Texas 2 or 3 times, so he's probably used to it. So I don't think it's going to be a big advantage or disadvantage, especially because I'm so close to there from St. Louis that it's not a big travel, no time change, elevation to acclimate to. And I really believe that I'm just focusing at any competition. I got to make that home. If it's in Brazil, I got to make that home. If it's freaking in Uzbekistan, I got to make that home. So I don't think there's going to be any advantage.
So a lot of guys will say, you're not really looking at Johny Hendricks, you're looking at a body type and a skill set, and you're going out and you're executing your fight. Is that the case? Is that how you look at this guy?
For sure. I mean, I couldn't put it in any better way. That's exactly what I'm doing.
And when you look at that body type and that skill set, where are the advantages? Where are the threats? What do you assess out of him, and how do you make sure you're going to win this fight?
I mean, he's a gamey guy. He knows how to win. And I think his coaches know how to game plan to win. Mm-hmm. He's powerful. He's a great wrestler. And he's always there to fight and always competing to the end to try to win the fight. So I can't expect him to be a guy that's going to fold up. But with that said, he does have weaknesses. He does have things that he does, tendencies. I know when he's taking breaks. I know when he's resting. I know when to push. And I know when to, mm-hmm. when to counter and when to protect. So he possesses a lot of unorthodox but effective techniques. You wouldn't have a boxing coach teach you to do certain things that he does, but it's been very effective, and worst case scenario, it gets your attention and it takes your mind off of what you need to be doing. So I'm very mindful of that and just trying to put together a good game plan that, keep it from doing that.
When you look at him and you say, some of the things he does are the things that are either improvised or sort of developed, they're not taught by a skills coach. And that makes a guy very hard to fight. But you're really hard to deal with, too, and very hard to game plan for, because you're an attribute-based fighter. You're built around your physical advantages, your ability to close distance super fast, explosiveness. At 5'9", you're a different body type. When people look at you, what do you think they're looking at as their way to beat you?
I think guys are looking at the athlete, keeping them close, keeping it close, weathering the storm early, trying to take me into deep waters, and maybe trying to, sink me in the later rounds. I think also they would look to back me up and pressure me. Mm-hmm. Anybody who's put out any reviews or any reports, that's pretty, standard of what people would think. But the good thing for me is I have the same access to those things as they do. Right. So I can counter game plan based upon what I think someone's thinking I'm going to do. And I'm probably the fighter that's ranked the highest with the least amount of, potential realized. I think Johnny's shown us everything he can do. I think GSP, I think Robbie, I think all of the fighters have showed us pretty much, everything they've had. My first 5 fights was submissions in the first round. Then I had some decisions. Then I had some knockouts. Then I had some close losses. Then I had some more knockouts. Then I had some decisions. We've never seen me put it all together. And I think for me to be able to even make it this far in my career, not have a coach every single day of the way like most of these guys, and still find success, I think there's just something to be said about my mindset and my desire to win. Now I have some of those things, some of those puzzles put in. Duke Roofs has been amazing. This camp, Dean Thomas is always amazing. Mm-hmm. I got the support of American Top Team, and, Duke Roofs has become a family to me as well. So now I basically got the A-team, and I think that's all I really needed was just somebody to help me make those small corrections And I think those small corrections, speed kills, man. Speed kills, and I'm the fastest guy in the division, and I think that's going to be my advantage.
Dude, the way you're looking at this is beautiful, and realistically, there is certainly an argument that we may have seen the best of Johny Hendricks. When you build a guy around being a powerful southpaw with good wrestling, there may be some limitations if he hasn't changed. And what you're telling me is Duke Roufus has added a ton of new tools to you, and Dean Thomas is the best game planner in the business. So, I don't know how people are leaning before they hear you talk here, but they might consider putting some money on Tyron Woodley, and that's got to feel good.
Well, you got to think about this. You guys as a community, with Dean and his MMA Scouting Report, if you guys haven't been there before, MMAScoutingReport.com, he breaks down fights, not just, hey, this guy's punches this and does this and circles this way. I'm talking about 7 to 9 page details, Scouting Report, multiple fights watched. He's been doing that for me for years, before he even went public with it. I just told the story today. I met Dean in my second to last amateur fight. I was at a satellite American Top Team school that I was managing in Missouri. They said, hey, this is Dean Thomas. He's a UFC veteran. He's from American Top Team. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Can you corner me right now?
Right
just
now.
Randomly. Dean was like, Dean being the person, he's like, yeah, I'll corner you. Then I saw him again, my last amateur fight, and I asked him again. Right in the fight, he said, yeah. And it's funny, we've been down ever since. Now what he's been doing for me, all these other athletes, American Top Team and other teams have really, been utilizing him. And, I'm used to having him with me the whole camp. And I joked him the other day, I'm like, tell those bastards. where were they at when I was freaking with you in 2006? Now all of a sudden everybody want to use you and you freaking want to coach everybody. But it's great for the team. ATT has got a great resource in him, and he's called me every day. He sent me detailed videos breaking out certain positions of Johnny. He sent me out a full game plan. We talk game plan. He's a damn angel almost on earth.
Man.
But he's really, really put together a great game plan. And him and Duke complement each other so well that, it's a great 1-2 punch for me to have both of those guys. And just think about Anthony Pettis. How many southpaws has he demolished?
Yeah.
That was part of the reason why I came there, because I was watching Anthony, and I was friends with him, I was friends with Ben, and I was like, man, Anthony smokes every southpaw. Or if he switches stance, he gives guys problems. Benson Henderson may never beat Anthony Pettis. You know what I mean? When he switched to southpaw, he gave freaking Cerrone everything he can handle. So when you think about it, I'm like, it's something they're doing.
Yeah.
And I found out, today, Duke Roufus, his brother Rick, was a southpaw.
Yeah.
Most of his Thai coaches and sparring partners were southpaw, so he had to learn these things. So these things he's teaching me are second nature. And I'm just really looking to eat them up and just pick them apart and just dance around on them and, just style. And then when I wanted to and I see an opportunity, then they go pitbull. We've all seen me. When somebody's ready to get out, I get them out. I don't let people hang around when it's time to get them out of there. I do that very well. And this time I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna rush it. And I'm willing to go either way.
Dude, I can hear the excitement in your voice around sort of, the mindset, the analysis, the smart game. And for a dangerous athlete like you to be as enamored by the smart game right now is pretty exciting. I have one more question for you about this kind of thing, and that is, how do you work Duke Roufus and Dean Thomas together? Is Duke the weapon sharpener and Dean is the sergeant or the leader, or do they work together in how to build your game and plan it? How do they mesh?
They work together. They talk collectively. I can always hear in their voice when I'm hearing from one that they talk to the other. So they work together with me. I mean, they figured me as an athlete that's kind of already got certain skills and attributes. There's no point in trying to change me, but to try to maximize and get more out of me. Sometimes we'll hit passes and stuff. Now I've been hitting passes every day. I got one-on-one with Duke every day for weeks. Imagine that.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Duke, he'll put on a chest protector, and he'll say, all right, go off. And if he says go off, that means I want you to freestyle. Don't just, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, high kick, inside kick, uppercut, straight, because those might not be available in the fight. I want you to start. I'm going to give you a book, and you say, okay, this is a cool book, but inside of the book is you freestyling. So he's done that. It's pushed my cardio and made me punch with more volume. And I think that was the in-between speed that I was missing in my fights. I had that 0 to 100. I got that down pat. But the middle speed, he's helped me produce that and, give me that creative freedom. And I'm hanging out and looking to the left, and I got fucking Chico with a fight coming up in Japan this week, and I got Sergio with a fight. And these are young guys, 20-some years old, and they spinning around and flipping and kicking, and they just make you bring that youthful, creativity out, and it's just been a blessing.
Dude, I am so excited to watch you fight now. I cannot tell you. I'm excited to see that whole picture come together. Thank you so much, Tyron. He is Tyron Woodley, and he will be fighting UFC 192 October 3rd against Johny Hendricks in Texas. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Cheers.